All right, gents, I need to be honest with you. Got a few secrets that I haven't told you about. You see, gents, I am a hypocrite. I create all these videos talking about what not to wear. Yet, if you go into my wardrobe, you're gonna find some of these items. And the worst part, gents, is that I knowingly keep these pieces of clothing. What clothing items am I talking about? What style rules am I breaking? That, gentlemen, is the subject of today's video. So this first item on the list is going to shock you to your core. Yes, gentlemen, I own a pair of Crocs. Now, before you light your screen on fire, understand there's a story behind this. So years ago, I received these as a gift. And I'm a closet Cowboys fan, but I'm an hour from Packer Stadium. And I can tell you, the people in this area, they have guns and they love their Green Bay Packers. And I realized, you know what? I've got to kind of set the image that I'm a Packer fan too. So I started to wear these around the house, kind of an inside joke. And then one day I wore them outside and it was wet. And you know what I discovered? These are great shoes for walking around your yard in the morning or right after it rains because they're so easy to clean. They're great gardening shoes. The point is, I've kept these because they're part of my disguise. They allow me to blend in with all these Wisconsinites despite being a Texan. And speaking of Texas, I'm an alumni from the University of Texas, got my MBA there, and I was there in 2005 when they won the national championship. I bought this hat. I keep this hat. It's just something that reminds me of that time period. I rarely ever wear it, but I do have it, and I do have to admit, occasionally, if there's a game on and I'm watching it with buddies, I will wear this baseball cap. Now let's get back to shoes. We've got a lot of lakes here in Wisconsin. So what do I wear when I'm going to be going to the lake? I'm going to be going in and out of the water. And I want something that simply I can slip on and slip off and I'm not too worried about losing. I've got these Teva sandals. And yes, I do not wear them with socks in case you're wondering, but they have really been worn up. They've been beat up and I keep wearing them. Why? Because I'm not worried to lose them. They're really just beater shoes. And I think that any man should have a pair of beater shoes or beater sandals in this case. That being said, I just bought this pair of Keens. Why? Because I'm going to go whitewater rafting. So again, they're incredibly ugly, but you know what? They're very functional. I think that's the key. Anytime you're buying something, style is nice, but first up, look to function. So this is a very functional water shoe that I needed and yeah, I bought and it is incredibly ugly. And gents, that's not my first pair of Keens. This pair right here, I have had for probably about 8 years, and I have to say that these are great slush shoes. So we get this crazy weather here in Wisconsin where it's not really snow, it's like a rain, slush, and you get about 6 inches of it on the ground, and you just got to make your way through it. So I love these because I can run through if I need to go clear my driveway, if I need to just throw something on. But these have just really all purpose, and they've done a great job. They get soaking wet, and they still actually do a great job when they dry out. They don't smell yet, so that's why I've kept them, I guess. And let me talk about my bright yellow jacket. So I bought this jacket right after I graduated college. That was almost 20 years ago. And I have to say that I've kept this jacket because it's very functional. This jacket has stood up to the test of time. If you go look at some old photos of me, I wore this as my everyday go-to jacket when I was traveling throughout Ukraine. My wife made fun of me. She was like, you wear this bright yellow jacket. Everyone else in Ukraine wore these dark black leather jackets. I stood out like a sore thumb. And I do not recommend that a jacket like this be your everyday go-to jacket. But you know what? It's a great skiing jacket. And that's why I keep it. It's a great shell. It's windproof. It's relatively water resistant. And it does a good job keeping me insulated. And where are you going to find this jacket nowadays? Pretty much in my truck. I keep it as an emergency jacket / emergency blanket that at any point I can go and grab. And just a great jacket I've had for almost 20 years. And yes, gentlemen, I leverage a man purse, especially when I'm traveling. You've got 6 people you got to keep track of, 6 passports, all the stuff that, just goes in and out and you could easily get lost is not going to fit into your pockets. I love having a go-to bag that basically stays on me 24/7. It's not as big as a Messenger or any of those other bags, and I absolutely love a bag like this. Next up, I've got my team jersey. And can anyone identify who this is? So I know we've got some international guys out there. What team do you think this is? I picked this up on one of my international travels, and what I love about this is it's just incredibly soft. I use it occasionally to work out, not very often, but yes, occasionally I will be wearing a jersey, and I'm not a player. It's not game day. I just simply like this jersey. Now, I have to admit, I rarely ever wear this, but I do own a singlet. Why? Because I have this dream that I'm going to be biking more, and I bought this. I bought all that biking gear, so I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to really get into this sport, and to be honest, this summer, I have not gotten out on the bike. So this singlet, it sits there in my drawer. I see it. It's right there in with my socks and my underwear. And it just is a constant reminder, Antonio, get your butt out there on the bike. someday I will put this singlet on and I know somebody will take a picture and it will be playing on Instagram or something. Next up, gents, I like fun underwear. In this case, I've got gingerbread men, we've got pizza, I have penguins, and I have pandas. And I wear this because whenever my kids have a sleepover, I like to embarrass them and just walk around in my underwear. And next up, gents, let's talk loud shirts. I love a great loud shirt. And I know I hear from you guys in the comments when I wear something like this. Antonio, what are you thinking? Do you really think you can pull it off? No, you can't. I think I can. And here's the thing with a loud shirt is that you can pull it off if you keep everything around it relatively simple. So go with a solid jacket, go with solid trousers. And really, this is going to do the speaking. Don't bring in a tie. And I know this isn't for everybody. Some people are going to look at me wearing this shirt and think, not really for me. But I find I get compliments and I love the way it helps me stand out. Next up, we've got the wraparound sunglasses. Why would I wear these? Why do I own sunglasses like this? Because I like to participate in certain sports and I want to be able to see clearly. So whenever you have sunglasses like this, it's just going to get rid of glare and all of a sudden it's going to make it a lot easier to be able to see things if you're out fishing, if you're out shooting. And of course, the boonie hat. This is ugly. It doesn't really compliment me at all, but you know what? Incredibly functional. It's going to keep the sun off of the face, off of the back of the neck, and it's just a very functional hat. If it starts to rain, keep the water right out of my eyes. I really like hats like this. And I didn't have it here, but yes, I do have a pair of cargo shorts. Again, if I'm going to be out hiking, if I'm going to be out doing something outdoors, I like having those extra pockets to be able to store things here or there, even maybe a bottle of water. And I've actually talked about cargo shorts. You got to check out this video right here in which I defend them. And a lot of people can't even tell, am I joking or is this a real video? Check it out right here, guys, as I defend and I talk about the war on cargo shorts.